urban saints. I'm going to read you a story. It comes from the Lion Storyteller Bible, and it's called God's Friend. Abraham was rich. He had lots of servants to do his work for him. He had lots of camels and sheep, and he lived with his wife in a very nice place called Haran. One day, God spoke to Abraham. I want you to leave Haran, he said, because I have a better place for you to live in. Now, Abraham might have said something like, where? Or how far? Or, thank you very much, but I'm quite happy here. But he didn't. In fact, he said nothing at all. He just gathered up his wife and his servants and his camels and his sheep and went where God led him. Why? Because Abraham trusted God. It was as simple as that. Canaan was the name of the place where God led Abraham. A land flowing with milk and honey is what some people called it. Which means that there were many cows and goats and bees there, and plenty of flowers and grass for the animals to eat. It was altogether a pretty place, even nicer than Haran, and Abraham liked it very much. The only problem was that Abraham had no children, and besides that, both he and his wife, Sarah, were very old. Grandpa and Grandma old, and maybe even older than that. But Abraham trusted God. So one night God said to him, Abraham, look up. Do you see the stars? One day you will have so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that counting the stars will be an easy job compared with counting them. Now, Abraham, look down. Do you see the ground? One day there will be more members of your family than there are bits of earth on the ground. What did Abraham do? He chuckled, that's what. He giggled, he chortled, he laughed. Me and my wife have children, he cackled. We're much too old for that. But God wasn't joking. You will indeed have a son, he said. And through your family, I will do something wonderful for the world. So, Abraham trusted God. And it wasn't long before God sent 3 messengers to visit him. Abraham was very kind to them. He washed their feet, which was the polite thing to do in those days. Then he served them fresh baked bread and a creamy beef stew. It was delicious. And as the visitors were patting their tummies and wiping their mouths, they said, we will be back next year. And when we return, Sarah will give birth to a son. Someone giggled. Someone chortled. Someone laughed. But it wasn't Abraham this time. It was Sarah, who had been listening in the tent nearby. And the next year, when God's promise came true and the baby was born, there was laughter again. So much laughter, in fact, that laughter is what they decided to call their son. For that is what the name Isaac means.